Do you prefer studying alone or in group study sessions? Please provide specific reasons and instances to support your answer.
Prepare your response after the beep. Start speaking after the beep.
I personally prefer studying alone rather than in group study sessions. There are a couple of reasons for this. First of all, when I study alone, I can focus better on my work without any distractions from others. I can choose a quiet spot and concentrate on the material that I need to learn. Additionally, I can study at my own pace, which is very important for me as sometimes I need more time to understand difficult concepts. Finally, I feel more comfortable asking questions and seeking clarification when I study alone. I don't feel shy or embarrassed to admit that I don't understand something. Overall, studying alone helps me to be more productive and efficient in my learning process.
Speaking task 2. You will read a short paragraph and then listen to a conversation between two people. You will have 50 seconds to read the paragraph. After, you will get a question about what you read and heard. You will have 30 seconds to prepare your response and then 60 seconds to give it. You have 50 seconds to read. Start reading after the beep. Now listen to the conversation between two people.
I can't believe the university. Why would they do this to us?
So you just read it as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I did, and I can't believe that they're saying that students are not using it that often.
I know what you mean. They're right when they say that sometimes a small number of students use the shuttle and that sometimes the shuttle is pretty empty. But this is really rare. More often than not, the shuttles are full.
Yes, I use the shuttles every day, several times a day.
Me too. Everyone does. It's so convenient that we have them, that we can rely on them.
Yeah, it just made things so easy.
They did, didn't they? It is true what they stated, that the university buildings aren't far away from our housing, but in the morning at 8 a.m., that doesn't matter. It takes a lot of effort to get out of bed. The shuttles made the whole experience tolerable.
Exactly. What are we going to do now?
Walk, I guess. There is not much we can do.
What does the male student think about the reduction of the shuttle service?
Prepare your response after the beep. Start speaking after the beep.
The male student disagrees with the reduction of the shuttle service. He agrees that sometimes there are only a few students on the shuttle or it might be empty, but he finds this to be rare. In his opinion, the shuttles are often full and many students, including himself, rely on them multiple times a day. He appreciates the convenience of having the shuttle service and believes that it makes the whole experience of going to class easier. He acknowledges that the university buildings are not far from the student housing, but emphasizes that in the morning, it can be difficult to get out of bed and the shuttles help with that. Therefore, he is not happy with the decision to reduce the shuttle service and feels that walking is the only alternative now.
Speaking Task 3. You will read a short paragraph about an academic topic, then listen to a lecture about it. You will have 50 seconds to read the paragraph. After, you will get a question about what you read and heard. You will have 30 seconds to prepare your response and then 60 seconds to give it. You have 50 seconds to read. Start reading after the beep. Now listen to the lecture.
When we're talking about group dynamics, we're referring to patterns of behaviors and interactions that happen between individuals. This discipline wants to study how people interact within a group and how groups form. An important concept that group dynamics studies is the power dynamics. Here, we are looking at how influence and power is distributed among the group, the abundance or lack of power one individual might have. We can differentiate leaders from followers this way. It is probably intuitive for most of you to know that the leader will be the individual who has the highest amount of influence and power. Power dynamics are really important because they could lead to friction within a group. Some individuals might vying for power, and this creates problems. The conversation about power dynamics leads us to talk about the next important concept, the concept of roles. Many roles could be assigned within a group, officially or unofficially, in order for the group to achieve its goals. These roles could be as diverse as the environments in which the group might find itself. Power dynamics can decide who gets which role, but also the role that one occupies can increase the power that an individual might have, if they're the only one who can occupy a pivotal role. Imagine a group where the smartest individual had the least amount of power. If the group faces a challenge that requires intelligence, now that weakest individual becomes one that has a lot of power.
What are the characteristics of group dynamics? Use points and examples from the lecture.
Prepare your response after the beep. Start speaking after the beep.
Group dynamics refers to the patterns of behaviors and interactions that occur within a group. It studies how people interact and how groups form. One important aspect of group dynamics is power dynamics, which explores how influence and power are distributed in a group. For example, the leader of a group usually has the most influence and power. Power dynamics can cause conflicts if individuals vie for power. Another important concept is roles within a group. These roles can be officially or unofficially assigned and vary depending on the group's goals and environment. Roles can also affect power dynamics. For instance, if someone has a unique role that is vital to the group's success, they will have more power. Overall, group dynamics play a crucial role in determining the success or failure of a group.
You will listen to a lecture about an academic topic. After, you will get a question about what you heard. You will have 20 seconds to prepare your response and then 60 seconds to give it. Now listen to the lecture.
Design thinking encourages businesses to experiment and to try out new things. Even though businesses would prefer to do the same safe thing, it is sometimes better to take a chance in order to reap rewards. Now, with designed thinking, this doesn't mean that you take a chance and immediately everything turns out right. But instead, when you try out something new and it doesn't work, you try to change your approach for next time until you get it right. Another important characteristic of design thinking that we will talk about today is collaboration. This method stimulates various parts of the company to work together in order to solve difficult problems. Sometimes it's hard for one department to solve the problem because it's hard for them to think outside of the box. But bringing people from the outside to have different perspectives, here we are talking about people from a different department, the problem could be solved in a more effective way. We can imagine an accounting department that solely thinks about the numbers, working with the creative team of the marketing department.
What are the benefits of using design thinking? Use examples from the lecture.
Prepare your response after the beep. Start speaking after the beep.
The lecture discusses the benefits of using design thinking in businesses. One benefit is the ability to experiment and try new things. Even though businesses usually prefer to play it safe, taking chances can lead to greater rewards. Design thinking acknowledges that not every new idea will be successful right away, but it encourages businesses to learn from their failures and adjust their approach until they find the right solution. Another benefit is collaboration. Design thinking promotes teamwork and encourages employees from different departments to work together to solve difficult problems. For example, an accounting department working with the marketing department can provide different perspectives and ultimately find more effective solutions. Overall, design thinking helps businesses to innovate and find better ways of doing things.